Transformers of Eternia.
You're watching Transformers of Eternia. Now, today I want to talk about the new released pictures and images that came out for Studio Series Ultra Magnus. Okay, so here he is with some of the pictures that Hasbro took for the Hasbro Pulse website or whatever for the pre-orders that went up. And these are pretty cool looking images. I gotta admit, this looks great. This is like G1 Ultra Magnus, and obviously it's Studio Series 86 based on the 86 movie. But yeah, so this is definitely Ultra Magnus. It feels like Ultra Magnus, looks like Ultra Magnus, everything that you want in an Ultra Magnus. And I really have no problems with this. I just think this looks great, and I think that they did a great job on this. Looks like the transformation might be similar to maybe similar to the original in a lot of ways, but it's kind of like a mix between other versions of Ultra Magnus. And it's basically like a masterpiece version for the Generations line, let's be honest. So here we got Ultra Magnus in his I Fell Apart mode, where the Decepticons took him apart and on the Junkian, on the planet of junk, basically, and then they put him back together. But yeah, and then he on the other side he has the Matrix of Leadership inside of his chest and everything. Looks kind of small, and especially with his size of his hands. If you notice, his hands can open, which is cool, and but the Matrix looks kind of tiny compared to what his hands are. So I don't know how that's gonna work. But yeah, it looks cool and everything. I think it's kind of cool how the chest opens up like that too. It looks, with all the detail that's in there, looks kind of cool. I don't know if I think his mouth looks right. I don't know. It seems like his mouth looks a little weird to me. But he looks great. He falls apart like Cup does, basically. And here he is in the vehicle form, which is really cool. I think this looks great. They did a great job on this. I hope the vehicle can turn like turn okay without having some issues with the corner of that trailer hitting on the back of the truck. That's the only thing I see here that I'm questioning. Like, is this gonna be able to turn smoothly and not be hitting on the back of the trailer or on the front of the trailer or whatever? But I don't know. I've seen some pictures of it kind of turned in some pictures, and I think I have a few on here. But I just wanted to make sure that that's a possibility, because that is something that they need to fix if they didn't make that thing clear. Anyway, this is him standing next to the Masterpiece version, which is pretty huge. I don't have it, and I'll never probably own it because it's so expensive. I never collect Masterpiece because they're just so expensive. I just can't deal with the price. I'm not a rich person, and I don't think I could ever collect these things without killing myself. So I just try to collect the Generations line, which now I have to be a rich person to collect those, it seems like. He looks pretty much exactly like the Masterpiece for one, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so here he is standing next to, I think that's the Siege Ultra Magnus, or maybe it's the Earthrise or Kingdom or whatever. I don't know which one it was. The last one where he turned into the Earth mode semi-truck and trailer. Anyway, the one I got, I believe I got that one. Anyway, so this one here is a little interesting because that one seems like it's about the right height for an Ultra Magnus. It is a little bulky and it doesn't have a lot of posability because of that, but it seems like it's about the right height. And I don't like the transformation on that one, and I really don't like much about the semi-truck on the front of the front cab on that one. But this new one seems really tall. So this is where I'm starting to not like the Studio Series 86 one, because I don't want Ultra Magnus to be super tall, and I'll get into why later in the video. So just hang on, and I'm going to get to that. But this is kind of cool looking how he's so big, but this is another one right here. Another one reason why I don't really care. I don't really like the fact that this Studio Series 86 is so big. First off, it's a little bit, it's almost, head-wise, it's a little taller than the Power of the Primes or whatever that one was. That Ultra Magnus, I have that one. The one that came with the little mini figure that went into his chest and everything. But yeah, that one is a cool Ultra Magnus. It's like a comic accurate one. I like that one, actually. And I love the transformation on that one. It does have some things that are a little fidgety about it, but other than that, it's a good Ultra Magnus. It's a really good one. And that one stands as big as this giant, expensive $90 Ultra Magnus. So that's kind of a little scary to me because that one was what, $50 when it came out, 49 or something. I think I got it for 49 or 45 or something. Anyway, that was pretty big, and that just, I don't know. It just seems weird that this thing costs like 90 or $100 basically for this thing now, and the same size, a comparison with a cool transformation and everything, and that one costed way less. So that's starting to get into the price gouging and the overprice of these things, and how much these prices have changed in such a short amount of time. That's pretty insane. I guess inflation is a real pain in the butt. Okay, so this right here is the very reason why I'm not a fan of him being so tall. Okay, Grimlock. Grimlock should be the giant one, the one that's bigger than Ultra Magnus as far as I'm concerned. He should not be the same, like shorter than him by a whole head, whatever, and some his shoulder. I don't know. He's shorter, and I don't like Grimlock being that short. The Dinobots should tower over Ultra Magnus even a little bit, not super, not a whole bunch, but a little bit, enough to where they feel like they're powerful, gigantic robot dinosaurs. That's just how I feel. I don't believe in the cartoon that they were that small either. I believe he was about that smaller than them. But this is the size comparison of all the figures all together, and there he is on the end, on the right hand side. That's the Studio Series 86 one, and the masterpiece is on the other end, and then the original and all the anyway. So you get a good idea on how big this thing is, and that's pretty amazing that they've made him so big. Here he is next to Optimus Prime in the original like scale that they're trying to go for, which this makes sense because Optimus Prime is a semi truck cab, and Ultra Magnus is a truck cab and the trailer combined and kind of compacted together, I guess, to make him that size. So yeah. Now this is all fictional character stuff, so obviously it can be, back and forth. And also the Transformers cartoons were not really reliable on a lot of stuff because they changed a lot of stuff back and forth. But here he is with the trailer, and it is kind of nice that he can actually have Cup, RC, and Blur and stuff fit in there and kind of be able to haul things around. I do like that. That is a good thing because he should be able to do this, especially for the price you're paying for this. This is insane. This is almost masterpiece price levels. Well, at least old masterpiece prices. So for the price you're paying for this thing, you better be able to transform him into a working semi-truck with a working trailer to haul vehicles. The vehicle looks good. The like trailer, like I said, being able to haul these things looks good and everything. I just want this thing to fit better into the collection and not be so huge against Grimlock and the Dinobots. But here he is next to Optimus Prime. The cabs are kind of pretty much the same size, which they should be. I don't think that this should be a bigger thing than Optimus Prime. It shouldn't be smaller either. So this is about right. I don't have a problem with this. But anyway, that's pretty much all though I wanted to talk about on this, because this is just kind of something I wanted to get into and just kind of complain about the size comparisons against the Ultra Magnus versus the Dinobots, I guess. That was my biggest issue I have with this design. But other than that, I think it looks great and everything's good about it. And the price, of course, is something I really don't care for either. But yeah, so tell me what you think about this thing in the comments. I'd like to know what you guys are thinking about this, and if you're going to get it or if you're not going to get it, or you think it's worth it, or you think it's worth just buying one of the older ones and just kind of sticking to that. Well, anyway, that's pretty much it. So like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.